I'm Julian.
I'm Pedro.
And I'm Riley.
And we are the Stop Don't Start team. 1, 2, 3.
Stop, don't start!
Say no to drugs.
We are the 5th and 6th graders from the Mandel School. Recently, when playing the park, we witnessed some teenagers not much older than ourselves buying and selling drugs. This really disturbed and affected us. So we decided to figure out a way to prevent this from happening to the people we know and care about it. We decided to take these issues to the streets. How we can prevent drug use with minors.
And this is why we came to you guys, because we feel like that you guys should be more knowing about this before you actually get older and people start asking you to, oh, you try this or try that.
What are your and the city council's feelings on drugs and minors in NYC?
I strongly discourage drug use among young or old people. And the reason is that it frequently gets people into a cycle of addiction, and it leads to additional problems in their lives, whether they're health problems or problems of abuse or problems economically as an individual, keeping a job. It really sets a course of a spiral which you don't really want to get on. So I strongly discourage it.
I think the most difficult thing about drugs in minors is that young people's brains physically are continually developing. And if you mess with that, if you put drugs into that mix of hormones and all those bodily chemicals, you can cause troubles throughout the rest of your whole life.
Why do you think teens would do drugs?
They do them probably to make themselves feel better about themselves, but it's not really a solution. It's just a temporary thing to do, and it's not a very smart one.
That's a good question, but sometimes it's because of things that have happened in their families. Sometimes kids go home and things may appear to be happy on the outside, but on the inside they're really not very happy.
Boredom and curiosity.
Other kids, peer pressure, you know what that is, huh?
I think it's all part of the teenage angst.
Well, they are intrigued by it. They want to try it out. It's just like alcohol. They want to try something. They want to try something that's maybe not that's illegal. The adventure, maybe.
The policy we have in the Netherlands that soft drugs is allowed makes that teenagers are less interested in it because it's no longer exciting to try it because it is already legal. So maybe that could be an idea.
How do you feel about the drug laws?
I feel that they're good because they stop people from doing them, but I feel that it's bad that they're illegal because then you don't know what's in them, and if people are doing them, then it makes it worse.
You know, I think they're tough, but I think they're applied unevenly. I think, in places where the use of some drugs is punished more harshly than the use of others, I think it's unfair to certain races and certain classes of people.
I think that they're valid and that they're trying to protect people and trying to keep people safe. But at the same time, I think that people have a level of personal responsibility where they should be given the freedom to do the things that they want to do.
What would you do if someone close to you was on drugs?
I've been in this situation before, and as much as you would try to help the person, it is hard, so you might have to get outside help to help the person you love.
You've got to talk. That's the big thing, is you've got to talk. And, you guys can be a big help, too. If you see somebody that's on drugs or know that they're hanging out with bad kids, talk to them. Because that's the biggest help of all, are the peers. Because peer pressure is what pushes kids a lot of times into drugs.
In learning what other people think about this issue, we decided to create a drug PSA. Only problem is that we didn't really know what a PSA is. So we looked some up on the internet. Here we go.
When I grow up, I want to be a track star.
No one ever says, I want to be a junkie when I grow up.
I want to be a ballerina.
Yet thousands of kids let getting high make a mess of their lives. Don't let drugs get in the way of your dreams.
Doing drugs is like being on top of the world. Just think about this. Before you go and do something you've never done before, you just better know what you're jumping into.
This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
In making our PSA, we decided to make t-shirts, posters, and prepare a presentation for our peers.
So this means a lot to us because we don't want kids to grow up and do this kind of stuff because you, as one of our quotes said, you only do have one life. So you got to use it wisely. And it means a lot to us because we're kids and other kids, maybe just a couple years older than us, are doing drugs. And it really hurts to see that kids can't control themselves and do these things that initially will kill them in the end.
So you think that it kind of all starts at home with their parents and education is essential?
Education is essential. It doesn't matter who does it, parent, a friend, somebody who comes in who's had experience to come in and talk.
You're not just hurting yourself. You're
hurting
actually
everyone
hurting
around you.
Yeah.
In the end, we think we learned a lot about this problem and how to educate others on how to stay away from drugs.